What's up, my party people? It's Asada, and you are tuned into Gathering of the Griots. That's right, Tuesday morning, baby. Every Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And we here to rock our Black literary life here in Chicago. You know how we do. But anyway, before we start with this wonderful interview of these lovely ladies, I am going to pay homage to the female solution because we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for the female solution. It's just that simple. So let's give it up and listen in to what it is and how we roll.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
All right, this is the female solution. There we go. Thank you, Naima Latif, for all you do, for making it possible, and for encouraging us sisters to come to the table and say what we got to say up in this world, right? That's what it's all about. So today, guys, I'm excited because I don't know people who work like this. Like, trust is a thing in the Black community, right? And to trust each other enough to work together sometimes can be a challenge. But today we are going to witness, like, can I get a witness? We're going to witness women who actually trust each other enough to work together in their writing world. But before we do that, today is hashtag Title Tuesday, baby. And so what is that? Oh, that's when we honor our authors. Let's bring them up. What do we have here? Up, Title Tuesday, The Double Dutch Dilemma by Deborah Bonner. Who else we got today? Oh, Love, Lies, and Loyalty by my girl, Shelia Sewell. Who we got next? Miscellaneous Pieces by Robert Horton. He's one of our sponsors, too, for the 2025 August 9th book fair. And we got, Children, The Best That I Can Be by Darryl Harvey. And we got Captain Candace, also by Darryl Harvey. And who else we got? Oh, this is a lovely new fiction author we have. Tonight by Fanny Price. And then we have Burn, Baby, Burn, also by Fanny Price. And so thank you, Title Tuesday, babies. Every Tuesday, we're going to highlight some titles that we have rolling in the August 9th book fair this year. And also check Facebook because we promote them there too. And so, you guys, without further ado, I want to get into it. And I'm feeling like I want to get into it and play their video, but let's get into it and see her first. Let me bring on Darlene Mamon. How are you, Darlene?
Good morning, Mrs. Sarah. How are you today?
I'm so good, darling. Now let me just tell y'all who this lovely lady is, first of all. She's not only an author, but the child is in, what are you in, Nevada?
Yes, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Right. So what time is it right now where you are?
It's actually 5:03 in the morning.
Ooh, baby. So y'all see what's up, right? It's 5:03. She's with us. And I called her. She was like, I'm getting myself together. So I love that. And I appreciate you making the effort to be here with us this morning. And now we are later on going to be bringing on the other author that works with Darlene. But in the meantime, let's bring on a little video so you learn what Darlene does exactly. Like, what kind of things she put on the table. Let's see.
Hi, my name is Darlene Mamon. I'm an author of a couple of books that's here on my table. The first one is Substance of Building a Healthy Relationship. And this book is based on teaching you about healthy and toxic relationships and coming from life experience that me and my friend Barbara Hawkins put together. The next one I have is Tatiana Goes to the Zoo and Busy Busy Tatiana. Tatiana is a little girl that does a lot of adventures with her grandfather, and she stays real busy, so that's why we named her Busy Busy Tatiana. And Tatiana Goes to the Zoo is where her and her grandfather goes to the zoo, and he teaches her a lot about the animals, so it's like an educational book. My next book is Adventurous 4. Adventurous 4 is an educational book for our younger generations to know about the famous black inventors that have invented the things that I use today. And what these kids do, they travel around in a little ship that they have, and they travel through time, and they go and visit all the famous black inventors on items that we are using today. So these are all of the books, and you can find all of my books on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles.
Let it be known now. Look at that. You like seeing yourself? Look at it. It's so funny because that video was done before I actually built you all's website.
Yes.
But you can now get their books right here, y'all. Look at the bottom. friendsandbooks.com. Let it be known. You can get them right there on their website. You don't have to just get them on Amazon. You have some choices in life. And so I guess I want to ask, when Barbara comes on, we'll deal with your joint book. But for now, since we have you, what inspired your work? Because Tatiana, how old is Tatiana now? Because
Tatiana is now 21 years old.
Oh, wait. No, wait.
Yes.
Wait. Look, I can't. I had a picture of your family. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, okay. Lord, let me see. No, that's not it. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. How about that?
There she go. In the red, the one that's in the red pants.
That's her?
Yes.
Tatiana. I thought she was still a little girl. I thought you were going to tell me that the girl in the yellow jacket was Tatiana. Oh my.
Yeah, that's the youngest granddaughter.
Wow, that's awesome. So basically, talk about that. Like, she's 21 now, so she was rocking and rolling. How did she inspire a whole book?
Well, I wrote that book. I say this is 25. That book I did maybe like 16 years ago.
Wow.
Yes. And you know how I was writing a book, and I thought about the story when Tatiana was over her grandfather's house, and he babysitted her overnight, and she went through the whole house. Now the whole house floor is full of wooden floors. While he sleep, she went through the house and found baby powder on the dresser. And of course, she got busy. That's why I named it Busy Tatiana. She took the baby powder and she filled the entire house with baby powder and all over her grandfather while he was asleep. And I thought about that book, and that book it was so funny remembering that. So I sat down and one day and just wrote about that book, and I put that book to the side, and this book didn't get published till 2 years ago.
Wow. Now, let me tell y'all the lessons, because I always talk about this. A lot of times when we have authors on the show, we find out that their life experiences shaped their books that they made.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want y'all to pull away from this experience is looking at the fact that how many years passed before you put it out?
Yes.
Yo, that is amazing. And it shows you, don't throw those dreams away, baby.
Yeah. And what happened was that you know how you cleaning out stuff, and I pulled out my box. I'm cleaning out the closet, and I pulled out this box, and I had all this paperwork. It must have been like 12 stories that I wrote. And they were just scattered all over the place. And I found the one that said Busy Tatiana. And I looked over, I said, I'm gonna write this book. But look how long I had that box put away though. I just happened to go through stuff and found everything. And I set everything on the floor and put it together. And that's when I wrote Busy Tatiana.
Man, I love that, because let me tell you what I noticed is that it does something for the children also. Like, it makes them feel a certain way, right? Let me put this. Let me put this up next to you, girl, because there she go. It makes them feel a certain way. And I guess, what did she say to when she saw that there was a book written about her? Because by the time the book came out, she was already how old?
About 19 going on 20, I think, near 19.
Wow. So what did she say about that?
She was excited because she the first one I sent it to. When I got through with it, she was the first one that got one, and she was so excited. She was like, "Oh, wow, Grandma, you remember that?" Like, yes, I did.
Oh, so wait a minute. Tatiana is your granddaughter, not even your daughter.
That's my granddaughter.
Y'all see how good people be looking? People be looking so good. How in the world that big old child is her granddaughter? Girl, you
Yes.
look fine as wine. That's so
Thank
good.
you.
So yeah, so that's one of her books. Now you have others. Let's
Mm-hmm.
look at this one here. I know you talked a little bit about it,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Mm-hmm.
want to really just look at what
Yeah.
you were thinking when you made this
Yes.
before.
This book here was of one of the ones that I think is my best ones that I done. And what made me do this book, I'm gonna take you back from sixth grade. I remember my sixth grade teacher. Her name was Miss Ferris, and you know every month we have Black History Month, right?
Yeah,
And she wanted everybody to write, something about somebody who you think is important. And only two that she had on the wall, of course, was Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman. And I was sitting up there and I was looking and I was like, I gotta ask Miss Ferris something. So I asked her. I said, Miss Ferris, since I know I've been in school, why every time it's Black History Month, only thing people talk about is these two people? I know it got to be more important African American people in our history than these two people. And I never forget what she said. She pulled me to the side and she said, Miss Darlene, yes, it is. But unfortunately, this is the only two that we can bring up in our class. But what I want you to do, you're now in sixth grade. As you get older, I want you to study and educate yourself on your history, your Black history, because there's so much to learn. And I never forget that. Now, as years went on, I watch my kids grow up. I watch my grandkids grow up. And every time I question, you guys, what y'all doing for Black History Month? They come up with the same two that I grew up on,
man,
Harriet Tubman and Martha Luther King. And I said, this ain't right.
it
This
ain't
ain't
right.
right. First of all, they took it out of our system, you know that. So that kind of
Right.
upset me that we can't teach our kids. That's why it's so important for the parents to educate our kids on their history and their culture. Because we know the system's not going to do that. They took it
Sure,
away.
sure.
So that's what inspired me. I said, you know what? I'm going to write a series. This is my first one, a series for the kids to read on famous Black inventors. And
Mm.
this was the first one, and it was on what Morgan get Gary Morgan Morgan Gary, right, the one
Garrett Morgan. Yep.
right, the one who invented the face mask and what we use every day, our
Yeah.
traffic
And
lights
the street
and the
light,
street
baby, the
lights.
traffic light. Yes.
Yes. So this book is based on the kids. These some real smart kids. They want to know everything. They have a spaceship that they travel through to go meet all the famous Black inventors, and they
Okay.
learn all about how he invented uh, the traffic light, the
Yeah.
gas mask.
Yeah.
They he told them all kind of stories, the things he went through and what happened, and and so that's what inspired me because I hated to hear that our kids need to know this stuff. These are things that they're not teaching them, and so I put Adventurers 4 together and I got some more series to go with it. So our kids are learning education. I mean, we have things we use every day that they have no idea that they were invented by Black people. So that's what inspired me to write this book.
How good of a lesson is that? You giving them gems today because to me, what this is showing is time. You control time, guys. You can control what you do in time. You don't just have to take what's happening in the moment as a thing to follow, right? But
Mm-hmm.
not only did you make that first book, you so busy Tatiana, over this over a decade later,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you made it, now you're looking at you took an experience from when you were in the sixth grade
Yes.
and still made it relevant to the future because like you said, your doggone children had to learn the same thing and didn't know. And I just really applaud you for that because people let things go. They let the life
Mm-hmm.
lessons go.
Yeah.
They don't think that they can play a role in maintaining importance
Yes.
of life experiences. So the fact that you did that, bravo, 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 bravo. And so what's my other book you got here? You got my oh, we got to bring this up. This is my I got to tell you a little story. Tatiana goes to the zoo.
Yes.
Now, when was this written? Because you got a Tatiana series obviously going on. So when
More
did
and
you
more and more to come.
really? So
More
when
to
was this
come.
written? Where was this? When was this written?
This one came, I'd say, maybe 7 months after I did Busy Busy Tatiana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now Tatiana, her favorite spot when she was little was the zoo. And Tatiana was real close with her grandfather too, so that's why I added the grandfather in this book with her going to the zoo. It's an
I love it.
educational book. It's an educational book for children's learning about what each animal does that's in the book, and there's also something very important in the book that she did that a lot of children need to know it's not safe to do. She wandered off by herself, and at the
Oh,
end, her grandfather let her know the importance of not wandering off, on your own and the things that can happen. Of course, at the end, he hugged her and he loved her, but he wanted to let her know this is something that is not safe to do. So it's I just put it all together, and I thought it was just great because this was one of Tatiana's favorite spots growing up was going to the zoo. So I
wow.
thought about that one too. But only thing about this children's book, I didn't know that this children's book was 83 pages. What book children's book is 83 pages, right? Right. And so when I was writing the book and I didn't realize the illustrator that did the book for me, she said, "Well, Miss Darlene, this book is over 83 pages, and usually for a children's book, it's what maybe no more than like,
32.
yeah." I went 83 pages in this book, but as I was writing, the story was getting so good, I kept adding and adding and
Yeah,
adding and adding, and
yeah.
then I realized she said, "Well, what do you want me to do?" I said, "We're gonna publish that book. It's a children's book. Publish the book."
That's
Yeah,
right. Look,
yeah,
look, look at Harry Potter. They ain't talk about we only got X amount of pages. They put 500.
yes,
You got
yes,
300, 500 pages and got children reading those
yes,
books
yes,
regardless.
yes.
We got a few comments. My girl from Higher Learning Network, that's Sister Zelda, said, Grand
Oh,
Rising, beautiful queen, sisters.
uh-huh.
It says, where's Miss Darlene from? We know a Mamon family in Sledge, Mississippi. That's your family?
Yeah, that's the Mayman's family is my husband. That's on my husband's side. So she might know someone in his family. I'm originally from Chicago.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't think I knew that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm originally from Chicago. I moved out here in 2010. I think, yeah, no,
Um,
no, 2008 or 9 we came out here.
so does he have Mamons in Mississippi?
He might do. They
Oh,
all over. So he
they're all
might.
over, baby. That's
Right.
right. Okay, cool. She also asked or mentioned, we cannot depend on a system to share such truths. Thank you for being the catalyst for change for the future of humanity. Cheers.
Thank you.
I know that's right. That's right.
Thank you.
And this is the power of writing, you guys. You don't even know how you end up impacting people by the work that you do. And so you just got
Yes.
to do it. So I see somebody that we may be able to bring on. Let's see if we can hear her. And if so, we're going to lay it on out. Let's see. It's Barbara Hawkins. Are you there, darling?
Oh, we still can't
We still
hear.
can't hear you. No, we can't.
Oh,
But it's
we
okay. You
can't
can
hear
work
her.
it out. Try by the phone, okay? I want you to try by the phone and use the visual from the phone. And then, but we're going to represent you anyway. Right now, we're going to
That's right.
represent. So let's show a video of Barbara and her
Yes.
books.
Yes.
Check, let's check that out.
Hi, my name is Barbara Hawkins Dixon. I'm an author of 3 books, 2 children's books. The first, Mom and Daddy, I Want to Help, and Girls I Made with Sugar, Spice, and Everything Nice. Also, Substance of Building a Healthy Relationship, and that's co-author with Darlene Mamon. First of all, we thankful to be participants in the wonderful book fair, Chicago Soulful Book Fair, and we looking forward to coming back for the big event in August. You could find my books all on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and also at You could go to Barbara Hawkins Dixon Books on Facebook, and you can find my books there.
All right, there she is. Now I see that she's working on bringing up the phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna try to bring her on now. Barbara, if you can hear me, just hold the phone regular, baby, and we'll take you there. So when I see it come up, I'm gonna bring her on. So now talk a little bit about her books, and I guess the mommy daddy. What is it? Yep, mommy daddy. I want to help. Let's
Mm-hmm.
um tell me a little bit because y'all are friends, so that means you know
Yeah,
some things
yeah.
about.
What Barbara was expressing in this book was that, you know how when it's the one child in the family and then another one comes in, and it bees a little jealousy there because that first child feels like this new baby is taking all the attention away from her. So the little
Mhm.
girl Sarah wanted to show mommy and daddy that she can help with the baby by feeding the baby, holding the baby, uh, um, changing the baby's clothes. She wanted to be part of that. She didn't want to feel left out. And so what Barbara was showing that, kids get jealous, because when the new one comes in the house and you've been the baby for so long, it's like they feel like you didn't just kick them to the side. So with
Mm,
this book, it's showing that even though she's the oldest, she still wants to show that she loves and wants to be part of the baby's life too. So mommy and daddy is saying that, okay, let's let her come and get involved with helping us with the baby so she don't feel left out.
nice. Now, Barbara, can we hear you?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes,
All
yes.
right, all right. Great job, darling.
See,
Yes,
this is the beauty, you guys, of having friends for real in the
Yes,
space. I mean, I
yes,
really applaud you all because it's like you're operating as one mind, although you're two people, right?
yes,
And
yes.
I guess
yes.
one of the questions I had for you both is why? Why did you choose to? Well, I guess first, how did you meet? Like y'all didn't just come out the womb to go out. How did you?
No, no. Well, we met between our husbands. Barbara's husband, my husband were friends. We moved on the same street where Barbara and them used to stay, and we just met each other that way through our husbands, and we've been best friends ever since.
Oh,
We
I
have
just
so much in
Yes.
common. It's amazing when we got to talking to each other and getting close with each other. We realize so much things that we have alike with each other, and that's what brought us together.
man. You got anything to add to that great story, Barbara?
Yes, it was just amazing because uh, I knew her husband, but I didn't know her. And my husband used to say, "I want you to meet uh, Perry's wife. That's Darlene's husband."
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
and it took probably about 5 months or so before we actually met and sat down and was
Yeah.
talking. And
Hmm.
I'm like, wow. I said, we just have so much in
Yeah.
common. It was just like an instant connection. It was like we had known each other for years. And, and so it's just, we just started, talking about our dreams, ambitions, and things that we wanted to do and was planning on doing. And within time, start writing these books. And then we said, well, you know what? Let's do one together. I think that would be interesting. Let's
Hmm.
do one together.
Now
And
I'm
we,
gonna get to that. Don't tell me nothing about that yet. Hold on.
okay,
I ain't
Okay.
going there just
all
yet.
right.
I just want to get the sort of chronology together because if Darlene, you wrote these books X amount of like over a decade ago, and
Yes.
then you met Barbara. When did y'all
Mhm.
decide to start doing like books together? I don't. When did that start? Because it's one thing to meet each other, but it's
Uh-huh.
another thing. Like I know, Barbara, you just
Well,
said you got
well, through all
ambitions.
the years, we always talked about, the things that we wanted to do. So when Barbara found out that I wrote my first book, which was Busy, Busy Tatiana, She was talking about what she used to tell me, how she used to write when she was younger, and the teacher was telling her, that she need to, further herself into writing, and all that came back to her. So it was like an encouragement to her. I'm like, Barbara, you can do it. Get that pencil, start
Mm.
writing, and you be amazed. And she just picked up that pencil and
Oh,
she
that's
started
great.
writing, and we've been writing ever since.
I just love that. You know what's so good about that? Because sometimes, I mean, even I look around and my friends are my friends, but they don't necessarily do what I do or
Hmm.
do things at the magnitude I do it. And so it could be a lonely world sometimes because it's like,
Yeah.
there's nobody to play with. But the fact that you all decided to do that and started to get these books written, like Barbara. So what year did your book start coming out, Barbara?
In 2021,
Okay.
I wrote Mom and Daddy, I Want to Help in 2021. And uh, in 2022, that's when I wrote Girls I Made with Sugar and Spice and Everything Nice.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. I want to just let you talk about that. Now, what's up with that? Because it's so important for the perception of girls is extremely important in our world right now, particularly when I don't know how much value we have anymore when you look at how we dress and uh exposing ourselves and being called names. What made you write this particular book?
Well, I was actually thinking about how uh, I'm a big fan of, family interaction and helping each other out. Because like it could be so much jealousy and division.
Okay, it looks like her phone went off for a
Her
moment.
phone got cut off.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah.
like it cut off, but we'll be back. That's what technology is for. But you did such a good job at that. What about this book? Do you feel like you can describe a little bit about this book?
Uh, yeah, I think I can, since I read her
Just
book. It was just
look, go for
showing,
it. Go for it.
yeah, it was just her book, Girls I Made of Sugar and Spice. Barbara was showing that, the sister, even though she's the oldest sister and she does a lot, she wanted to always make sure that her brother is, that to show her brother how much she loved him, how
Mm,
much she cared about him, and didn't want him to feel like, he's the youngest and she's the oldest. So she had her mom to prepare a nice little birthday party for him, and that made him feel so wonderful. So that's why it be so Girls I Made of Sugar and Spice, because girls, we think we so sweet, we want to do things, and that's what she came up with, Girls I Made of Sugar and Spice. So it was more so a brother and sister connection to show the love between each other.
which is very good. I mean, because siblings. Oh God, if it don't go right, if you don't get that right, it don't go right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the fact
Yeah.
that you can show an affinity between them, and I like to see that it's sort of multi-purpose. It's off the cuff, just making even if I was to give that book to a young girl, to make her feel like
Mhm.
that, and to embody that as a
Mhm.
person, it's important. And so
Yes.
I just love the fact that look, hubby coming on through, right? That's
Yeah.
okay.
Hubby coming through.
He coming on through. Look, it's
Uh-huh.
okay. That's just
Okay.
like, but the fact that I wanted to touch on in terms of you both, your support of each other is so important. Just the fact
Yes.
that look how you could back up her even if she's not present. And I think that's something
Yes.
good. We had another comment I wanted to make sure I put up here, and it
Okay.
said, "Oh, awesome! Thank you for sharing your journey as it continues to encourage others to do the same. Your 83 pages is just the beginning, honey. Thank you for listening to Spirit Within. Congratulations." So
Thank you,
yeah, that speaks to
Zelda.
yeah,
Yes.
that speaks to your specific books and your journey to make sure
Yes.
that you did that regardless, right?
Yes.
So what
Yes.
we're going to do, we are going to take a commercial break, but when we
Okay.
come back, we'll get into the book that you all did together,
Okay.
because I think that that's extremely important. So you
Yes.
all stay tuned, and we'll be right back after these.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
You got it.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif, And if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
All right, little book fair flavor. That was the book fair we had. I think it was in the spring, and you all were present. Well, honey, I think this is gonna be your first main book fair, correct?
Yes, yes. The one that's
Oh,
coming up in August. Yes.
August 9th, baby. Y'all
Yeah.
better get ready for
Yeah.
that August 9th event,
Yeah.
because if you've not experienced the outdoor event, that was the first book fair we ever had. It was so funny because I organized it in 2016. And then when it was over, people loved it so much. It was like, when's the next one? And I was kind of like, what they talk about, Willis? I'm not doing this again, but we're actually 8 years in now and have done it in the metaverse and a ton of
Yes.
other places. So happy for that. So now I want to get into you all's second book, and I'm still waiting for Barbara to come back in. But I think it's very important that you all did this particular book. I love this picture. Well, I have a picture of one of you all separately, right? Up with your books and all of that. But then there's one of you all, boom, with the book Substance, Building Healthy Relationships. So tell me what inspired doing this particular book.
Yes. Well, what inspired me with this book, because I was a victim of domestic violence and a bad relationships. And so as years went on, this what me and Barbara got together, because we used to talk about a whole lot of things. And we start, the God was bringing people into my life, just from nowhere, that would have experienced some of the things that I experienced. And I'm glad that I was an inspiration to others, to let them know what I've been through and how God brought me through. And so, it would give them some encouragements to let them know they can get through it. And so we got together and we decided, you know what? We've been through a lot of things in our life. Let's put this book together so it can be an inspiration to others. And that's how we got together and wrote this book.
Whoa, yeah. I'm also a victim of domestic violence, and you just need guides sometimes
Yes.
to get through the no, not you don't you're not really prepared for that unless somebody has been in a relationship for X amount of time and they keep going back to a relationship like that. But
Yes.
it makes such a big difference. I could imagine. Was this book like therapeutic for you to do?
Yes.
Okay, talk
Yes,
about
it was.
it.
Yes, it was, because I'm gonna give you maybe one bad experience that I had, and that was, if that's okay to share.
Of
That's
course.
what encouraged me too. I had Clorox bleach thrown in my eye here, and to this day, this eye has not been right ever since. It gets blurry, it gets watery, it steams sometimes. It has not been the same ever since. And having that experience, it was traumatizing. It put me through a lot. And so as years went on, I realized, that we only allow things to happen in our life if we stay there and we don't do anything about it. We are the ones that can, make the choice. Okay, enough is enough, and something has to be done about this, because a lot of people don't make it. That a lot of people die through domestic violence. So
Yeah.
that's why this book was so important to us to put it together, because it was an inspiration for myself. I was inspiring myself when I wrote this book, and this book has made me a better person today. And I hope, that it would, help somebody else if they're going through, the things that I had to experience in life.
You know, I'm sure when you all communicated with each other
Hmm.
and shared stories, was it a situation where Barbara experienced the same type of thing, or what brought it to that y'all?
No, no,
Yeah.
mine was totally different for her. She was just dealing with things in different relationships.
Yeah.
Mine was the physical part. Hers was more so the mental and emotional part.
I see. Okay. And so dealing with mental and emotional sort of anguish and problems or
Hmm.
needing to make
Yes,
them better.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
What can you tell us a little bit about that? Like what some examples of that?
Well, just dealing with, okay, say if you dealing with people who disrespect you, you did that, that's an emotional thing for you, name calling, being mistreated, being isolated, and some of those things that were occurring. And so that's when we just start sitting down and talked about some of the things that we went through in our life. That's what made us put this book together.
Okay. Now, if I'm a girl,
Hmm.
and like, who's this book written for? Is it for people that are married and trying to get through things? People who,
Married, just in a relationship, whatever.
okay,
Whoever's involved in it. It's just not for married people, because everybody goes. You don't have to be married to be going through that. It's people that are just in regular relationships or whatever. Young teenagers go through it. It's for everybody. And
gotcha.
we have, like, I think it's like 10 different chapters in it on different things, emotional, physical, things like that, that they can read through, and they might see like, oh, this chapter here is for me, let me
Mm,
read this one, and then I put in there some scenarios, little stories, using characters and things, what happened and how they came out of it at the end.
okay, let's try to see if we can get Barbara in. Barbara, can we hear you? No, we can't hear you.
Oh,
Okay,
we
cool.
can't
That's
hear
okay.
her.
That's okay. Not a problem. That's why you got two, y'all. That's why you got books and friends. And if you want to call in, the number is 727-731-5192. Is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Definitely call in and you can either ask a question of Darlene and Barbara when she come on back in, or you can put a comment. If you're seeing us on Facebook, you can put a comment. If you're seeing us on YouTube, you can put a comment, but definitely engage because it's important when we get to talk to these authors. And matter of fact, these ladies will be present at the August 9th Soulful Chicago Book Fair. That is
Yes.
going to be on 61st Street here in Chicago between Cottage and King. And
Yeah.
so, hey, baby, be ready
Hmm.
for them. So
Yeah.
because the majority of their books are children's books, you'll definitely
Hmm.
find them in the children's genre block. But
Hmm.
you see the book that we're talking about now is just dealing with relationships. And so tell me, have people that have read this book come back to you with any feedback about how
Yes,
them?
yes. I
Let-
get
let-
I get a
about
lot of,
that.
and you know what? It's so funny, Asara, because I could be anywhere in a store or anywhere, and God brings like the communication that God brings to me. Like, and I have had young ladies that come to me and ask, like, they don't even know me, like, can I ask you a question? And then we just get to talking. And then once we get to talking, we exchange numbers and everything. And then they tell me about the things that they went through, and I give them my life experience. And they come back later on and they be like, Miss Darlene, thank you for that inspiration that you gave me. I am now doing this or I'm doing that. Even on our Authors That Speak page, we get a lot of comments because we have an Author That Speak page on Facebook, and it deals with relationships. And we didn't have people that come in and they ask us questions. A lot of them give us topics to talk about, and then we make a Zoom, and we do topics on what they asked us to talk about that deals with relationships. So yes, this book has really inspired a lot of people. We get a lot of feedback. We get a lot of thank you. So it's an encouraging book.
I'm going to try to bring in my girl one more time. She told me to try to
Okay.
add to the stage. Let me see what I got.
Okay.
Barbara, are you
Can
there?
you hear? Yes,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
See
Yes.
you, but it's the phone, but I don't see you.
Okay.
It's your phone.
Okay, can you see
There
me
she go.
now?
Yes, I
Yes.
can definitely. So now you talk a little bit about this. Talk a little bit about your intentions with this book about relationships.
Yes. Well, it really is so much. A lot of people have the misconception that it's just younger generations that's going through, uh, you know, uh, in toxic relationships, but that's so far from the truth because it does not discriminate.
Okay, she jumped off again. I know she like
Yeah. I
technology.
know.
But anyway, you probably know a little bit about what she was about to say about toxic
Yes.
relationships. So go ahead and
Yes,
um
what she was trying to say is that it's not a certain age range for this kind of relationship, because it's teenagers that go with it. It's all ages, older people go through it. It's through all of life. It's just not a certain age that people go through this. But what is important, all of it, is that we have to come to at a term as women to know that this is unacceptable, and that's what we're trying to show in this book, that you don't have to be treated this way. You don't have to be in a relationship with someone that's just treating you badly and you feel that this is what you're supposed to accept. No, you do not. No, you do not. No one needs to be treated badly. And here's another thing, Asaba. It's just not women that's being abused. Men's go through the same thing too. And that's kind of funny to hear people be like, well, ain't no man gonna let no woman, jump on there. But it has actually happened to men's too that's going through this. So what we're trying to show is that you are important. You matter. Don't stay in something that you are being treated real badly and it's making you feel bad, because that's not love. That's not love at all. And when somebody say that they love you, they're not going to abuse and mistreat you. So you have to understand the difference. I know a lot of people say, I've heard people say, well, I don't have anywhere to go, or he's taking care of me, or he's doing this, or he's doing that. And I have to come back and tell them, but let's think about this. It might be one day that you might not make it out of that. A lot of people have died from domestic violence. We hear it all the time, because they stand in it, or they trying to get away and the person is still stalking them, and then death occurs. So we just trying to make it, let it be known that it's a better way of life than living in something that's toxic. And I would say again, when someone loves you, they're not going to mistreat you and abuse you. That is not love. And that's what we have to understand as women. You deserve better than that. You are more worthy than that. And if you with somebody that doesn't respect and mistreat you, that is not the person that you need to be with.
Go ahead. Y'all hear that? Dropping the jewels. Boopity boop boop. No doubt about it. Because you know, and I'm glad people are here to hear what you have to say, because the guidance when you're dealing in a situation that is abusive, and it's more than we think. We're not, and not just the physical abuse, but like
Yes.
the negative, that the
Yes.
stuff we spew at each other, the negativity, the yelling, the name calling, the cursing. Like we curse each other so much, it's just a problem. And I really am happy you all wrote a book that can address that. We're going to take a quick break, But when we come back, we're going to finish off with this and bring my girl Barbara, see if we can get her back in. About some of your future plans with what you all
The
are doing.
book. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So we'll be right back, guys, after this messages.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
All right, good. So, moms, relationships, let's get it all. Let's sort it out. The thing is, we have to sort it out, and that's one thing I love about the female solution is it gives a platform for us to deal with these issues and really come to the table. So, we got a comment that came in. It says here, great advice, Miss Darlene, from Precious Black. You know who that is?
Yeah.
Good. Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you, Precious, for that feedback. Now I see my girl came back. Let's see. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. all kind of problems. Yes, but I think when we decided to do this book together, it was just amazing because of the fact that so many people find themselves in toxic relationships and then they make all type of excuses to stay in them. And whereas to me, that's just giving the perpetrator the power to continue doing what they do by abusing you. And so it have to come to a point that you have to reevaluate yourself and figure out why is it that you actually stand in this toxic relationship. People they stay in the relationship for the kids. They stay in it because they've been in it so long and they don't want to be alone. It just becomes a habit forming thing to stay in a toxic relationship. And we have to do more about removing ourselves from these relationships because you're only hurting yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that because your voice is a strong voice in this. Like you can hear it's like a no nonsense. This is how you have to really affirm what you want, not what you don't want, and really be living in a different light. I want y'all to talk a little bit about when it says substance of building healthy relationships. What is that substance? What is that? What are you talking about?
What we're showing, what we're trying to say is, ways that will bring you, what we're saying of substance of building a healthy relationship is things that are positive in your life. Look at the things that are positive, nothing that is negative. The negative things we are trying to tell you, that's what we want you to get away from. The positive things we want you to stay in and help your relationship to grow. So that's what we're showing in the book. Things, the do's and the don'ts. That's what the substance means.
Got you. You have any feedback on that, Barbara?
Right. Yes, and like the substance is learning to love yourself, to try to, remove yourself from the toxic and see the beauty within yourself. And you can't, depend on someone else to make you happy. Happiness is within you. And
That's
so
right.
you have to bring that out and not worry about someone else's opinion about you, because a lot of time when people's talking negative about you, all it sometimes you can allow it to get in your spirit, to get in
Mm,
your soul, until you start self-doubting yourself. And
sure.
that's just the wrong thing to do. To know your worth and know that you are worthy to be loved and appreciated the way that you should be. We
Mm,
all deserve to be in a healthy, happy relationship. And so
yes.
if you're not getting that, then that means you're not with the right partner.
Mm,
Because when someone love you and appreciate you, you don't have to request a lot of things. These things, when you are being loved properly, these things come naturally because your
yes.
mate or your partner want to do these things for you, with you. They will much rather you to see a smile on your face than a frown. And
Yes.
so if you find yourself in that type of relationship, know that it's time, to move on if you're not getting that in your relationship,
Sure.
because that
1,000.
might not be the right person for you.
Thank you, girl. Oh, y'all getting told today. Y'all better stop playing. Y'all are out there. Don't be out there with no mediocre person now. But Miss Barbara done told you, look, now you deserve this love. And I think it's important. This to some people, this is a hard truth. And people could hear it, but you gotta apply it. I'm very curious, how because you're both married, how
Hmm.
husbands feel about this book and what you had to say in this book?
Yes, my husband, he was my husband was okay with it because he know the things that I have been through. So to be able to share it, because it really gets even deeper than just the abuse. I've been sexual abuse too, growing up. So I've been through a lot of traumatized through my life, from sexual abuse to being abused. But by the grace of God, and thank God that today, I am where I am today, and I'm grateful because I had to tell myself and look in the mirror, you're important, you matter, and you don't have to be treated this way. Once you get that mindset of yourself, and you start changing your self-esteem, it helps you to bring yourself out of that kind of a situation. So my husband was okay with it because he knew the things that I have been through.
Nice, nice. What about you, Barbara?
And my husband, yes, my husband, he's fine with it. He's fine with it too. He have no problem with it, even though I never been in a physical abusive relationship. But a lot of times people feel like their relationship is perfect, but that's not true. There's no perfect relationship out here, but it's uh all different types of abuse. It could be mental abuse, like Darlene said, physical abuse, emotional abuse. So at some point, it all depends on what level of toxicity is in your relationship.
Mm,
Because, like we say, it's no perfect people. So how could it be a perfect relationship? But
mm,
if you see that is uh overwhelming with different signs of abuse, then it's basically too much to bear. So I it's just very important to know, like I say, to know when enough is enough, and when so much get into your spirit and you know that's not right, just stop uh ignoring the red flags, because
yes.
we find all kind of reasons to look over something. We give people more chances than they actually deserve. And
Say
so
that.
we have to know when enough is enough, and when to move on and stop making excuses to stay.
because you only hurting yourself when you make these excuses. Oh, I'm staying for the kids. No, you actually stand because you don't want to leave the situation. And so when we come, you know, get that within ourselves, we can move much faster. And a lot of times we won't have to go through all of the bad things we go through in relationships. Because once you bump your head, you learn you're not going to bust your head if you move quicker.
Move quicker, baby.
Yes.
Bob and weave with it, baby. Exactly.
Yes.
Well, this time we got about 3 minutes left before the show is done. But what I would like for you to articulate is, what are some of your future plans? Where would you like to see this book go? Where would you like to see your children's books go? So in the next 3 minutes, go ahead and give it to us. What's in the future?
Yes, well, with this substance of building a healthy relationship, we getting together now. We're going to work on our part 2 to this book, and that's going to be a work study book. That's going to be like your personal diary, from each chapter, and you be able to write in your feelings, your personal feelings. That's your book. Nobody sees that. That's what we working on, making a work study to go with the book. To further my children's book, I'm planning on doing more series with Tatiana. I got more to go because Tatiana is just too busy. I can tell you millions of stories, okay? And eventually 4, definitely more series, because like I said, I want our children to learn their history, things that they are not being taught. They only want to tell our children so much. It's important that I want our children to know our culture, our Black African culture.
That's
to understand that, it's more of our history. It's more things that we done been through. It's more things that books for you to read, and it's so important for us as parents to teach our children what the school system is not teaching them. It's up to us to do that, because we can't depend on it. It's the parents' responsibility to make sure our kids know things that they need to know. I mean, it's so much for them to learn within them books. Let's get them books and help them, teach them. And don't wait on the school system to teach them. It's up to us to do that.
Absolutely. We just lost Barbara, but that's okay. We see and we know when she comes back, she can articulate what she wants to do for the future. I personally see for the joint book, I see workshops.
Yes.
I see, you got women's studies department of different colleges. And I feel like you all can be a voice in the women's studies departments of the world. And have that book, because what happens is they bring you in, pay you to come in and speak, but then they also want to purchase X amount of copies of the book. And so let's see if I can bring in Barbara before we're done. We got about a minute, but if not, let's see, might not come. Barbara, in 1 minute, you see your future?
Yes, I plan on writing many more books. It might not be on the same thing, but like I love family-oriented books. And Darlene and I, not only are we going to do the workbook, we also going to do another book, part 2 on substance of building a healthy relationship, because there's still so much more to be said about toxic relationships and people staying in them. And so it's, we just have so much more work to do, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Girl, y'all done said it and you got it succinct. Boom. You all, thank you so much for being here today on Gathering of the Griots. This was a great show. There's so much more that can be shared, but you all come and see Barbara Dixon and Darlene Mamon at the August 9th Soulful Chicago Book Fair. Thank you, ladies, for being here. You guys, make sure you write down their website. It's friendsandbooks.com, and that's where you'll find all their books. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you for being here, and
thank you.
Good day. All right, peace out.
You very welcome.
All right.
Peace, everyone.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, Ngiyabonga. Senegal, Jaref. Kenya, Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.